Hello, I'm Jane Hanson, and I'm proud to bring you the stories of our nation's heroes, their words never heard before, in this compelling series, Unspoken, Now Told, Soldier Stories. The footage that you're about to watch is part of an ongoing mission to document the wartime stories of our nation's military veterans, from World War II through today's conflicts, all in the voices of the men and the women who fought for our freedom, facing down enemies poised to change our way of life. First in the series, this moving and thought-provoking video gives us a new look into the World War II experience through previously undocumented first-person accounts. Each story is told by the soldier himself. Many of these stories have been left unspoken until now.
We were briefed that night to bomb Nagasaki. And it was a target that wasn't bombed before. So they said, we'll go in there with the A-26s. And what happened that night, they called us back again, and we were rebriefed to bomb the alternate. We always have two targets. Bomb the alternate target, which was Kanoya. So we said, why are we going to bomb Nagasaki? Oh, they said it's weathered in. Not very good visibility there. But we didn't know that they were giving it to the B-29s, and or the B-29, and we bombed the alternate target, which was Kanoya, which was a Japanese airfield. And then on the way back, I saw this huge thunderhead going up, and there was blue flashes going on in it, and then we were about 8,000 feet, and it was passing us by. It was still going up, and there was a cap forming on top of it, like an ice cap, and it was kept going up and going up, and every once in a while you see a flash in it, a blue flash. I said, boy, that's some thunderstorm. I didn't know about the atom bomb, but when we landed, the news was all around. Guys were passing out these little bulletins about the atom bomb. And then right after that, the Japanese surrendered. So that saved our lives, because we were scheduled to the invasion of Japan. And they said that the A-26s, the low-level planes, would practically take a 50% loss. And I said, whoa, that was lucky. In fact, when we heard about the bombs at Nagasaki there, I had the feeling that it was like what they were dropping on Europe. The English were dropping those huge bombs, I thought it was one of those. That saved our lives, that bomb. Whatever they want to say about the bombs, they put the war, they ended the war and saved millions of lives, because they said the invasion of Japan would have been horrendous.
My outfit, the 103rd Infantry Division, I look upon that like I classify them as three armies. The first army was with Bradley and with Patton. They were they used to go 50, 60 miles. They used to go. They were fantastic. But when they used to go, then the Germans used to come back into the pockets, they call them, and then we would like to mop up. And when we would come through and then clean out all the towns where the Germans were left behind. And then behind us came the other ones that would set up a government, set up the mayors and all of that. Yeah, the lieutenant comes running, calling on, he says, Solano, what the heck? And I said, yeah, what is this? He said, come here, he says, there's a bunch of Italians that want to surrender, but they can't. I understand that somebody doesn't want to make them surrender. So he says, we're going to go over there. So he says, do you speak Italian? I said, yeah, I speak Italian. I said, okay. So they got a Jeep, they got a half-track, and then they got a tank. We go up there, and there's a big slope. It's about 150 foot. And it's all woods on the top. So we got the white flag, it was the guy's undershirt. And we put it on the stick, and we walk it up, the three of us, me, the lieutenant, and another guy. And here comes four guys, four Italians, they come out. So I said, hey, voglio, in Italian, I was telling him, surrender. You better call the rest of your guys and bring them out. We didn't know how many were there. We don't want, the major don't want us to do it. I said, well, look, instead of you going to the major's funeral, your wife and kids are going to go to your funeral because you guys are all going to die. I said, take a look. And there we had the tank with the gun up there and two machine guns and turrets, and we had a platoon of soldiers, of gunmen. I said, you got 10 minutes. You don't come out, you're all going to die. So we went back and they went back, and we were waiting 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Then we hear boom, boom, boom. Everybody's ready to shoot, and the lieutenant says, don't shoot, don't shoot. And in a little while, they all start to come out. So I see the guy that had the flag when the guy was talking to him. And I said, what happened? He said, the major didn't want us to surrender. He wouldn't let us surrender. And we were brought up in the same village, he says. We didn't have the heart to kill him. But we had two new guys in the thing. We gave them the gun, and he killed him. He killed the major. And they all surrendered. I said, well, now you go home to your wife and all, and you could thank her very much that you're still alive. Otherwise, you would have been like the major dead. And we brought him in. There was 62 or 63 in the woods. So for one guy.
We were I told you we were by that big fortress on top of the hill. And out of nowhere, this German officer comes out, putting on gray kid gloves. But then he wanted to surrender to an officer. The guy says, I'm an officer. He goes, an officer. So we had to bring him to our lieutenant to surrender. Then he told us about people being in the secret tunnel that he just came out of. And he said that they wanted to surrender, but the SS wouldn't allow him to do that. So he says, go back and tell them that nobody will be armed to start coming out. And they came out one or two at a time. And then they wanted the SS officer to come out. He wouldn't come out. So they sent guys in to roll a few hand grenades. But then I heard a big explosion. So then they told me that the hand grenades must have blew up a box of ammo or something, because there was a lot of damage on the inside. And we had to get the bodies out and everything else. Not I, but a group of guys. And that's when I met this Russian who was interrogating prisoners. And I said to the lieutenant that was standing by, what's going on? He's talking to him and wants to know what's going on inside this compound, the tunnel that we had. And the guy wouldn't talk, so he takes out his little 25 caliber pistol, and he had a hammer and sickle pin on his jacket. So he was a released Russian Air Force working for us in intelligence, So he took it out and put it up the guy's nose. I didn't think he was going to shoot him. Then he did. Pulled the trigger, and the bullet hit his nose, went out underneath his eye, and he did it the second time. Second time, I put my hand up, pushed the gun away so he wouldn't shoot him anymore. And then he got very angry at me. So the lieutenant started jumping on him, telling him, put the gun away and shut up. The guy got on and never died. Both bullets hit his nose and went out, deflected, went out underneath his eye. They were 25 caliber, not 22s or anything, But didn't have it. Maybe the powder was wet, who knows. That saved his life. No, it's human rights. Why should you shoot somebody like that, I don't believe in hurting anybody, really. I tried not to. It's war, but I kill somebody because 6 months later it's going to be all over, or 2 years later, and who the hell's going to remember it? And what good is it going to do? Nothing.
Each of the soldiers who shared their stories for Unspoken Now Told is an Honor Flight Long Island recipient. Honor Flight is a nonprofit organization created solely to honor America's veterans for all of their sacrifices. The organization flies our nation's heroes, free of charge, to Washington, D.C. to visit and reflect at their memorials. Through their association with the charity, the group responsible for producing Unspoken Now Told forged connections with each of the World War II veterans who agreed to share their stories for the sake of posterity. To watch more interviews in the series, please visit UnspokenNowTold.com. The mission to build an ongoing catalog of soldier stories continues with veterans of the Korean, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, and Iraq wars. Visit UnspokenNowTold.com for a continuously updated catalog of first-person accounts from the battlefield. Thanks so much for watching.